Hello everyone, I'm your king, Willis Mikky. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today we are doing something completely different from my normal content that I would like to make a staple on this channel, and that is doing a tier list. So, we've all seen tier lists on YouTube, on Twitch, and other different platforms, but today's tier list is all about red flag dates. So, if you see these signs, let's say on a first date, are these red flags? So let's see what we have to judge. So obviously, we have S as like the most red flag of red flags. You immediately get out of there. And then D, not really so much of a red flag. In other cases, be quite good. So let's check out the first option here, which is narcissist. So if I run into a narcissist on my first date, I'm immediately thinking I am running for the hills. So the reason why narcissist is in B tier right now is because that's where I'm going to place them before I actually place them in their proper rankings, rather than continuously moving them about. But narcissist, the first thing I'm thinking of, like if I'm on a first date with a narcissist, I am running, because the only thing a narcissist really cares about is themselves. They don't care about you. They won't care about me. They won't take care of me. They won't care about my feelings, about what I want. You should care about yourself as well, but also care about the other person, the person you're dating. So a narcissist would just drive me crazy. It's all about me, me, me. It's not about myself or not, or even about us. That's a red flag for me. You only care about one person. That one person is yourself. I get loving yourself, but this is a bit too much. So honestly, this is an S tier. I feel like if I date a narcissist in the long term, I'm just going to get hurt. And honestly, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody who I can spend quality time with, spend hopefully my life with. If I'm going on a date with you, that means I'm interested in the long term. I'm not interested in no quickie or a one night stand or something like that. But if I'm with a narcissist, I know I'm going to get hurt in the long term. So I'm just going to run. So the S ranking is I'm out of there. That's the ultimate red flag, this type of behavior. But let's check out the next one, which is ugly. And personally, I don't feel this is a red flag. Like, this person didn't choose to be ugly. They were just born ugly. Like, why you gotta be so rude about it? Why you gotta be so rude? Like, come on, man. Like, this just feels like a smack in the face. Like, don't be mean about it. Like, this person knows how they are. If I'm going on a blind date with somebody and this person is, let's say, not the best looking. No, let's just call it what it is. Let's say this person is ugly. That is not like a red flag. Everybody has their preferences, of course, but it's not an ultimate red flag. Like, this is, yeah, it's not even a red flag for me. So honestly, I'm going to put ugly in D tier because I don't see it as a red flag. Like, realistically, the first things that catches your eye is somebody's attractiveness. Let's say you're walking down the street, or you go to a bar with your boys or with your girls. The first thing that really catches your eye is how attractive somebody is. But let's say you go on a blind date with somebody you don't find super attractive immediately. They're not like butt ugly or anything like that. Jesus Christ. As I said, they're not like butt ugly or anything. However, like, they win you over with their personality. They may be, let's say, like a 5 out of 10. They're not like hideous. They're not like disfigured or anything like that. And if you are, I love you very much. You are awesome people. But you can still be won over if you are, let's say, ugly. Because I heard some decent looking people be called ugly as well. So ugly is such a vague term here as well. So hence why this is going into the D tier. Now, the one we are judging next, let's see how far this one goes in the tier list. This one will be doesn't smell good. Now, if I'm on a first date with somebody and they don't smell good, that is a red flag. Well, what are we talking about here? We're talking about body odor, we're talking about their breath. We're talking about maybe their hair. What are we talking about here? Because you can eat something your breath smells and you don't even realize. However, your body entirely just smells. I just think you might not have showered in a bit. And that's a really red flag because you don't care about your health. To me, that's a red flag. Let's say you go on the first date with somebody and they don't smell the best. But you decide, okay, this person might have eaten something, or they might have stepped in some dog poo. That could be something else. You decide to give them another date because, hey, I was vibing with this person. This person seemed cool and everything, and I liked talking with them and I liked hanging out with them. But once again, they smell bad. And it's like, if this is a consistent thing, that's a red flag for me. That is a massive red flag. And let's say you try to gently point this out and they don't make the effort to start taking care of themselves. I think that's a big red flag too, but that's going into a different category, I feel like. So just judging on doesn't smell good. Where am I pitting this one? I think, God, I want to put this one in S2, but I'm tempted to put it in A. Honestly, yeah, I think I'm gonna put this one doesn't smell good in A. Because there are some circumstances where it can be for medical things, but I'm trying to think on average. And I don't believe the average person smells because of medical issues. I'm gonna still put this in A though. But let's see the next one, which is TikTok. Now, personally, I never used TikTok. I do have an account on it, but I never, ever use it, nor I watch anything on it. But if somebody is like a user of TikTok, let's say I find this out on the first date, it doesn't say, well, I think it's safe to assume they are maybe addicted to it, which is not the best. Let's say this person is focusing more on TikTok than on me, that's a red flag. But if this person is just simply using it as like a means of entertainment, that's fine, honestly. But it does go into a certain tier of it can be bad depending on the person. However, it also can be completely harmless. So honestly, I think a perfect place, it stays where it currently is. I think it's a B tier. If the person has TikTok, I'm not sure if it's like a crazy red flag that I would immediately run from, but it is something I would look at in the future. I'm still trying to think, doesn't smell good belong in A tier? I don't know. Let me know that in the comment section down below. Let me know so far if you agree or disagree with the tier list. But let's see the next one, which is addicted to his phone. And firstly, I'm going to call out this list. This list is 100% sexist. How dare you only just talk about men? His phone? I'm not sure what the hell that was. But in general, I think if I find out on the first date, or I just see this person always on their phone, they're not focusing on me, they're not focusing on the date, they're not focused on interacting, that is a massive red flag. Because why are you even here at this point? Why are you here on this date with me? Yeah, this is such a huge red flag. If they are just addicted to their phone, not being conversational, always taking pictures when, let's say, never eating, never talking to me, just always texting, doing something else, maybe playing a game on their phone. This video is sponsored by man, that would have been a great transition if I ever got a sponsorship. Never's gonna happen. But dude, I really hope I get a sponsor someday. That'll be fucking sick. But they're just playing a game on their phone. They're not interacting. That's boring. Like, why am I here on this date with you if you're not gonna talk to me, if you're not gonna try to get to know me? And how am I supposed to get to know you if you're always on your phone? So, where are you going? I feel like pitting you in S, honestly. Because if you're addicted to your phone, that feels like the most important thing in your life. And I'm not saying I should be the most important thing in your life, but as your king, I should be. So yeah, I think that behavior in general is not good. It's not healthy. Just always be addicted to your phone. If you can't put your phone down to, let's say, take a shower or cook yourself a meal or go to work, that is a massive red flag in your behavior. So honestly, when I put it like that and I find this out all on the first date, you addicted to the phone, straight to S tier. But now let's go on to the next tier. No, fuck. Now let's go on to the next one, which is no culture. Now, off the rip to me, because honestly, I have never traveled before. So I don't have a lot of experiences with culture. So I'm trying to think, is that a red flag? I don't actually think so. So honestly, no culture. It's not a massive thing for me. But I can see it being an issue for some people. But for me personally, no, not really. But as I said, I can see some people having an issue with it. And I can see like maybe a headache from it. Possibly, maybe. Like, it's, for me, it's really stretching it. I think maybe a C tier. I think, yeah, either a low C or a high D. That was so dumb of me. I'm such a child. But, wait, fuck. But let's check out the next one, which is too kind. Now, honestly, if I want a first date with somebody and I realize this person is being really kind to me, firstly, you're making me feel special. And honestly, at first, I'm not going to lie, like for the first maybe like 10 minutes, I'm going to be like, no, not even 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm going to be like, I'm not used to this. I feel slightly uncomfortable, but also like happy because let's say this person is complimenting me. This person is like really listening to me, really like laughing at my jokes, hand holding, doing other like kind stuff. Maybe they pull my chair in. Maybe they hold the door open for me. Like just generally kind gestures. And honestly, if I'm on a date with somebody and they are being too kind, quote unquote, this is not a red flag. Now, that's different from being clingy, I feel like. Some people are just naturally nice people, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. So, personally, I don't find this a red flag at all. If anything, I think it's somewhat of a green flag. I bet it can get overbearing if you're always like being too kind. But as I said, overbearing, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be kind to people. So honestly, too kind, you are going in D tier. You are a great thing to see on a first date. But now it's time for the next one, which will be doesn't know how to cook. For me, this is such a red flag. I am looking at you like, how don't you know how to cook? And let's say in the rare instance of somebody just simply not being raised to cook. Let's say they grew up as an orphan and never learned from anybody because they didn't have anybody in their life. And then let's say they are offered the chance to learn how to cook and they refuse, that's a red flag too. But I'm gonna just talk about most people. Most people grew up with parents who cook, or grandparents who cook, or uncles who cook, adults that cook, or older siblings, or cousins, or older family members that cook. And you don't pick up on anything. You can't fry an egg, you can't make a pancake, you can't cook, you can't do simple things as cooking. I was initially thinking S, but maybe A, maybe a high A. God, I'm really tempted with S, honestly. If my partner doesn't know how to cook, what else is my partner going to do? Do they know how to clean? If you don't know how to cook, do you know how to clean? Do you do anything? Do you benefit my life and our future life together? Let me know in the comment section down below. What would you place doesn't know how to cook in? Would you place it in S or A? Or would you place it in D? Let me know that in the comment section down below because I'm about to place it in S. I'm placing this in S. But now let's check out the next one, which is has no passion. I initially accidentally put this in A, but honestly, if I did it right and put it in B tier, like I was always going to do with the ones that I just pull up, it would have stayed in B tier. So now I'm gonna have to move this one down. Has no passion to B tier. Because it's a thing of, you still can care about things and not be crazy passionate about it. You can still love things and not be passionate about it. There's times I loved like my pets and not be passionate about them. There's times I've loved family members and not be passionate about it. There's times where I've enjoyed a fight, an MMA fight or a wrestling match, and not be passionate about it. So honestly, it can be a bit of a red flag to some and to others. So I think it goes from person to person. But now let's check out this next one, which will be not Christian. And honestly, this is not a red flag. Like, people have their beliefs, and that is perfectly fine. If I date somebody who's Muslim, that's fine with me. If I date somebody who's an atheist, that is fine with me. I am not somebody who's into religion all that much. Personally, I don't care how you live your life, long as you're not hurting anybody and long as you're not shoving your beliefs down my throat. That's all that matters. This one is very short, very simple, D tier. Does not matter to me. However, let's see if this next one will matter to me, which is no car license. And honestly, it would be 100% hypocritical to care about this because I don't have a car license. I don't have a driver's license. I never learned. And I don't care to because the area I live in has a ton of buses, has a ton of trains. I don't need to worry about that type of stuff. If somebody has it, cool. If somebody doesn't, whatever. This goes in D tier for me. I personally don't give a damn about it. Doesn't matter to me, doesn't affect my life. Moving on to the next one, which is fat. So, I'm deciding to put this one in C tier. And this one is because it's just not my preference, honestly. Because just like how somebody has the right to not date somebody who is skinny, and I am skinny, I have the right to not date somebody who I don't physically find attractive. And have I met plenty of people who are attractive who's fat? Yes, plenty of people. So many lovely people. If this was obese, this would be somewhat different, but it's not a deal breaker for me either. So that's the reason why it's going in C tier. The only issue is, of course, sometimes it's genetic, but I would always say go to the gym because I'm a big advocate of, going to the gym, improving your health. That's always great. And let's say you're fat. God, I just feel a bit rude, honestly. I just feel a bit rude. But let's say you're fat and you don't want to go to the gym, you're just choosing to stuff your face. Okay, that's a red flag because as your partner, hopefully your future partner, I am worried about your health, and realistically, I would want to spend the rest of my life with you, and you, let's say, eating yourself sick is not the way I would want to spend the rest of my life with you. So I still think a C. I think this is a C tier. But now let's go on to the next one, which is smoking. Now, this is a big red flag for me because personally, I never want to date somebody who smokes because the smell. I hate the smell of it. And I've known so many people who smoked, and these all are family members, of course, and my mother smokes, my grandmother smokes, my uncle smoke, my brothers used to smoke. Like, man, personally for me, I don't like it. I hate the smell of it. It's personally not for me. If you smoke, I would always say, like, watch your health, make sure you're healthy, because it does take a toll no matter what you think. It will take a toll on you. Same thing with like something like alcohol. But drinking alcohol, I think, is better than smoking a cigarette. And I'm not even an alcoholic. I don't even drink alcohol either. So for me, smoking. And plus, I can taste it on somebody's breath too. And I don't want to taste that because it tastes nasty. So honestly, this goes in S tier for me. It's a big deal for me because I don't smoke and I don't want that smell in my place or when I'm around you, where I'm supposed to be chilling and hanging out and having fun, and I'm just smelling that very, very recognizable scent on you. And it makes me not want to be around you. So, S tier for smoking. But now, let's check out the next one, which is not sporty. And also, I will address, I did move down doesn't know how to cook to A tier. I did think about that a bit more, and I chose to just move it right there. I think that is a good spot because if somebody didn't grow up learning how to cook and now they're an adult and they don't know how to cook, That's the fault of the people around them, not so much them. I do think it's a slight red flag though. But let's go on to not sporty. As you can see, it's in D tier because, well, I'm not sporty. I said earlier I'm a big fan of MMA and WWE, wrestling, stuff like that. But I won't consider myself like a sporty guy. I'm not. Like I've never been into football. I've never been into basketball, hockey, any other like sports. I'm not even a big fan of boxing. I like MMA significantly better. But as I said, I'm not really a sporty guy. So if my partner is not sporty, who the hell am I to judge? Because I'm not sporty either. So for me, that is not a red flag at all. But let's check out this next one, which is often in nightclubs. And when I hear often, I think something like weekly, or maybe even more than weekly. And this is a red flag. And maybe I might move it up, honestly, from a B to an A. Because why do you need to go out clubbing where people will hit on you and you are in a committed relationship? Like, why are you putting yourself in that situation? What are you looking for? Because usually what happens in clubs is you drink and you are choosing to do that. You're choosing yourself to put yourself in this scenario where you can be hit on. I think that's a red flag if you go out very often to nightclubs, because you can just do that type of stuff, let's say at home or maybe at one of your girlfriend's places, rather than out to a club. But for me, it's a red flag. So honestly, for me, I think I'm moving it up, honestly, at this point. I think it's an A. But let's check out the next one, which is immaturity. And also, I saw in the tier list, it was ultra right and ultra left. I personally don't give a damn about politics at all. I am not a political guy. This is not a political channel. I do not care. But let's talk about immaturity, because this can be a red flag. Because what is immaturity? I heard of people saying somebody who watches anime to be immature. I heard somebody saying before that playing video games is immature. I heard somebody saying if you like pink, you are immature. Hell, I even heard somebody say if you like wrestling, you're immature. Like, what is immaturity in this case? So, let's say somebody is a bit childish. Let's say that. Maybe they have temper tantrums, a grown adult, by the way. That is a red flag, or they expect you to baby them. Like, it's somewhat of a red flag, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. Well, I think it's a red flag that you will have to look out for, but not have to worry about too much. That's my opinion, though. Let me know if you differ in your opinions down below. But let's check out the next one, which is bad relationships with parents. Now, this can be a red flag if your parents are decent human beings. I have read many stories about bad parents and bad parenting and ruining kids, and some parents just trying to mistreat their kids. And the thing I will say here is some parents don't deserve to be parents. Some parents do not deserve to have kids. But if your parents are decent people and you have a bad relationship with them, that is a bit of a red flag because of why. Because if your parents are decent people and you have a negative relationship with them, because when I hear a bad relationship, I think not just a minor disagreement or something like that. I think of something that really happened that got to both the person and the parent. That's what I'm thinking of. So this can be a big red flag, but depending on the parent, it can also be a green flag because you are able to establish boundaries. So honestly, I think this stays where it stays in B tier. Maybe I might move that, I don't know yet. But let's check out the next one, which is gossip. Now for me, this belongs in an A tier, but I think a low A, I mean, some people are really mean with gossip. Because personally, I don't care about the gossip with your friends, with your family. Like, I care about our relationship. That's what I care about. Of course, I care about the well-being of the people you care about, but just gossiping and spreading rumors about certain people, That's not cool. So to me, that's a A tier. Like, I think there's more important things to worry about than gossiping about other people. I don't think that's interesting. I don't find it exciting. And if I find out let's say you're gossiping to your friends about our relationship, I am heavily looking at that relationship as like, do I want to stay? And I'm leaning towards not wanting to stay, because you're going to be saying stuff now, I feel like, after maybe I confront you. And now I don't trust you. The trust can be gone if you are a gossip. So honestly, to me, it is a red flag. But let's check out the next one, which is swear words. Now for me, this is a C tier. Honestly, maybe even a D, because I don't personally mind it. But there is one thing that is making me not want to put it in D tier. Because secretly in the back of my head, I am thinking, if you swear a lot, how intelligent are you? Do you have to always use these like swear words to convey your emotion rather than maybe different terms, maybe different emotions? Do you always have to just swear? Because here's the thing, I swear, I do swear, but however, I am able to convey emotion without the need to swear. Swearing for me, it adds to what I'm saying rather than the swear needs. The swear doesn't never need to be in my sentence. It just adds to it. But when I think somebody is swearing a lot, they're just swearing for the sake of swearing. But I swear a lot, so it's not a massive deal to me. But it does belong in C tier. But now let's check out the final one, which will be dressing vulgarly. Now, if I'm on a date, a first time date with somebody, and let's say for a woman, I see her in a short skirt and like a small shirt, or I'm on a date with a guy and I see him just in a tank top and sweatpants with no underwear on. Is that ultimately a red flag for me? I don't know actually. So here's why this goes in B, because it can be 50-50 for me. Because, you know, some people want to be comfortable. Let's say we go out to a bar. Firstly, I really wouldn't want to, like, a first date be at a bar, but let's say for this instant, yes it is. And they dress like that, okay. Like, personally for me, it's not going to matter too much. But in this relationship, I know this is how this person will be. So now I'm thinking about, like, a lot. I'm thinking about, like, are they always like this? Do they always go out like this? Do they not have any appreciation for how they look, for how they dress? So if they dress vulgar, like, let's say for the woman always going out in, let's say, booty shorts, or a man going out with his dirty clothes or wrinkled clothes, like not caring, that is somewhat of a red flag. But at the same time, like, it could just be a convenience thing as well. Because I go out wearing sweatpants sometimes, and I go out wearing tank tops when it's not cold outside like it is now. It can be a red flag, but not a massive one to me. And also, another thing with this is that if I start dating somebody who dresses a certain way, and I know they dress this way, and I'm trying to change the way they are, I think that's a red flag as well. You know how this person is. You decided to date them knowing how they are, and now you're trying to change them. That's not cool to me. Also, I was thinking a bit more about the ultra right and ultra left. That can go up, but I am gonna leave it there for a bit, honestly, because I personally don't really care about moving them. Because if you are shoving that down my throat, like saying, oh, lean this way, I don't care. I don't care about this stuff, man. Like, I just wanna watch anime titties. I just wanna watch some guys punch each other in the face. I just wanna watch some wrestling. I just wanna watch some anime, dude. Like, come on. I don't care about, like, political stuff. But that's if they, like, push it on me. But hey, that was the end of this video. So thank you guys for watching it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy my first ever tier list video. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree with my rankings? What would you change? Do you heavily disagree or agree with whatever I have? Let me know that in the comment section down below. But for now, I've been your king, Willis Mikky, and your king is signing off.